What's in a national wildlife refuge?
I'm John Welch, and I'm about to embark on a 3-day adventure on Umbagog National Wildlife Refuge, paddling up 2 wild rivers, the Androscoggin and Megalloway, looking for moose, dodging thunderstorms, avoiding black flies and mosquitoes, and generally trying to find out what's out there in the wild. Come along.
Did you know that the United States National Wildlife Refuges have almost double the land of US national parks? This video shows you what wild surprises await in one.
Right now, I am really close to the border of Canada and Maine, pretty far north of my state, New Hampshire. The awesome part about this is it's all boreal forest, just like you'd get up in Canada. And so you'll get species like Canada jays, blackback woodpecker, spruce grouse, all sorts of good stuff like that. So right now I'm making my way up the Androscoggin River. I have to paddle in upstream. So I've just finished pushing through this really shallow, buggy, grassy channel. This would be a great place for moose. Well, I'm close to halfway in right now, and I have dodged rain, although I kind of see some behind me. Just had a really cool experience where I had this really weird noise, and it was Wilson snipe, this kind of woodcock-looking inland shorebird type creature with a really long bill. There's 2 of them up in the sky doing aerial displays of courtship and making this really weird noise. Hopefully it came out in one of my recordings. Okay, we've reached a milestone in this journey. I am now at the confluence of the Androscoggin and Megalloway River and about to eventually enter into the large Lake Umbagog.
After hitting Lake Umbagog, I left the National Wildlife Refuge and made my way over to the New Hampshire State Park managed cabin where I would be camping for my adventure. Well, good morning. I had planned on waking up at 5, and I did, but it was foggy, so I decided not to paddle out into the lake because it'd be hard to see anything. Instead, I stuck around camp. I was delighted to see that there were so many warblers, including black-throated blue warblers, chestnut-sided warblers, and a whole bunch of other ones. So I spent some time photographing them, and then just hanging out, enjoying the cabin. Can't believe how nice this cabin is. It doesn't have running water or anything like that, but it's a wilderness cabin, but it's got a bunk, table, and a nice deck area that I was sitting outside and enjoying some coffee, listening to the loons and the other birds. And now, today, I am going to paddle up the other wild river, the Megalloway River, and I will see what's up there. When I was in that marshy complex, I saw something small swimming. It was a red squirrel. Popped up on this log, kind of didn't know what to do, then ran at me and jumped. Really cool. Didn't know red squirrels could swim. Well, you never know what you'll find on these wild rivers. I was rounding the bend and I saw a white dot moving, and it turned out to be a bald eagle. It was on a stump, eating some kind of large fish, I believe.
Bald eagles nearly went extinct because of the pesticide DDT. By 1949, there were no nesting bald eagles left in New Hampshire. DDT was banned in 1972, and Umbagog National Wildlife Refuge was the first place bald eagles nested in New Hampshire in 1989. Today, there are 100 pairs in the state.
One surprise after another. That's why I love coming out here. I'm really glad that places like this still exist. I feel like national wildlife refuges are, well, they're for the wildlife. They're not for people. They're not like national parks. There isn't infrastructure. You're gonna have to do completely man-made power in a lot of cases. Maybe not even have trails, maybe use paddling. And it's really cool to be able to see a more wild side. And I really kind of do wish people were a little more aware of the national wildlife refuges we have. They're really valuable public lands. Well, I reached my turnaround point on the Megalloway River. Didn't quite get as far up it as I wanted to, but light is really rough now. The birds are quieting down, and a little bit of a wind. So sounds like a good time to head back to camp, make some lunch, do some camp chores like filtering water, so I have water to drink. I'm doing that a little bit now on the paddle as I go. So I just had dinner, and now I'm gonna head out and look for some moose. The light's getting a lot better. Looks like some really great moose habitat. Peaceful and dead calm on the lake. I've been hearing loons. Can't wait. Wow, that was absolutely incredible. Man, as soon as I rounded the bend at the slough, the moose is out there grazing, and it stayed there for an hour. I at first thought it might have been a cow moose, but I saw quickly there was, I think they're called pedicles. The bulls do not have antlers in June, in early June. They shed it back in the fall, probably around November they shed them. And you could see also the moose was out of its winter coat, so it's kind of shedding some of that. And they love grasses like it was eating at this time of year. They these aquatic grasses, they sprout up think they're pretty much loaded with sodium, so the moose need this. I'm so glad that moose are huge animals. The video footage you're seeing, I shot it in crop mode with the Nikon Z8 and a 180 to 600, so it's basically at 900, so I was far away. One thing you got to realize is if you're kayaking, you are not necessarily safe in the water. The water I was in was about 12 inches, 18 inches deep, less than a foot. If you're on metric system, it's like 1/3 of a meter. And they can run right out at you, and bull moose can definitely be aggressive. I absolutely love my state. I can't believe that at the north end of my state, it feels just like Alaska. I have the same kind of spruce trees here, and nobody else was out here. There's mountains all around. The sun was setting. In fact, at one point, the moose lined up right behind this blood red orange sunset from the Canadian wildfires. The sun was taking on that orange hue. So it was just an absolutely magical encounter. Couldn't believe how well it went. Now it's time to get back to the cabin. It's already almost 8:30 at night. Got to do a little paddling, and it gets getting dark, but can't wait to get a little rest and just enjoy this experience. There are so many mosquitoes. It is day 3. I am packing up. The winds are about to hit. I got out of there a little later than I hoped. The challenge today is to get out. I've got about, I'm not exactly sure, a minimum of 4 to 5 miles of paddling. Challenge also is the wind. The wind is going to pick up a lot today, possibly up to 20 miles an hour. It's starting to rain already. Initially, the forecast was for a good day, but we'll see about that. Wow, that was a Wilson snipe, 2 Wilson snipe right overhead. So low. Oh, I wish you'd seen that. Anyway, I just made it onto the Androscoggin River. I wanted to show the turn from the lake into the river, but there was some real chop where the lake and the river were coming together. And I didn't have the camera up, and I could not take a hand off the paddle. I had to make sure I didn't get sideswiped. Hopefully it's a little better. It looks a little better on the river, a lot less chop, good. There is wind. Theoretically, it could be coming up my back, southeast. And that's unusual. Usually we get west or northwest, which would have put it right in my face. I will definitely take it. Well, thankfully, it did calm down once I got onto the river proper. Just a little bit of wind. It's nice to finally have the current pushing me along instead of fighting it. A lot of my paddling to this trip was either paddling against the current or paddling against chop in the lake, so good to save this for the end. Already finding some cool birds. No moose yet. Hope I find one. This is perfect moose terrain. The question is, will they be out? You can see the mountains of Maine in the distance. I'm right on the border. I searched the brushy areas, but no luck on the moose. That is the reality of how it goes. Well, this trip is basically done. I can see the boat ramp, and fortunately I didn't get any more moose, but I did have an awesome experience out there. I'm really thankful for that 1-hour encounter I got. So really blessed, really thankful to God to be out, really happy. And I hope this little video got you inspired to get outside, learn more about nature, learn more about yourself, and experience nature stories for yourself. Bye.